On your mark, get set. Let's go.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up?
Good morning, Kevin Durant. You should have left California.
This Bronx will upset me in having to bring this teenage idiot from Wisconsin into a sports conversation. Are you really surprised the Cowboys are giving up on Ezekiel Elliott?
Whoa. Hell no! Well, no one cares about baseball.
Bitch, are you for real?
Oh, yeah! About time in the garden, kids. Good. Whoa, 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 whoa. I did it again. I keep pressing the wrong button. I'm sorry about that. We'll try again. Good morning. Welcome to the Tripped Out Thursday edition, the Totally Dietz Thursday edition of Snowman in the Morning. Glad to have y'all with us. And we got lots to do, a short time to get there, and lots to talk about today, including a walk-off on an error? What? Yes, that happened. Also, we got stuff to talk about from Wimbledon. Grant Williams finds a new home, the Home Run Derby, and Stefon Diggs, stay out of the limelight, will you please? Can't believe I'm making that plea. Here's the whip around presented by Fanatics. And it goes like this. Has made history. Novak Djokovic at Wimbledon, after beating Australia's Jordan Thompson in straight sets, the Serbian star and number 2 seed captured his 350th singles victory in a Grand Slam tournament. He joined Serena Williams and Roger Federer as the only players in tennis history to win at least 350 Grand Slam matches. Williams has 367 and Federer has 369. The 23-time Grand Slam champion struggled in the second set and was 2 points away from losing it until rallying back to win the tiebreaker with an ace. He pointed at his head and swaggered off the court in celebration. Why do I get the very distinct feeling, and I mean a very distinct feeling, that this may be the Joker's Wimbledon to lose? I just have that. I just have that feeling. Don't you? Grant Williams has found a new home, and it's in the Southwest, as the Dallas Mavericks are acquiring Grant Williams from Boston in a sign and trade deal that includes the San Antonio Spurs. Dallas is sending guard Reggie Bullock and a 2030 pick swap to the Spurs, while the Mavericks and Celtics will receive multiple second-round picks, according to a person who spoke to the Associated Press on the condition of anonymity. Williams' contract is for $54 million over 4 years. The person spoke on the condition of anonymity because no trades can be finalized before Thursday. Well, guess what? This one is about to be finalized, and the money that is being thrown around, and I said it correctly, thrown around, is crazy ridiculous. Crazy ridiculous. It's time to launch some home runs at the T-Mobile Home Run Derby at T-Mobile Park in Seattle. And the person who I think is going to win the darn thing represents my beloved Chicago White Sox. Luis Robert Jr. will face off in the first round, and he's making his first appearance. He'll go up against the 8th seed Adley Rutschman. Number 4, Adalis Garcia versus number 5 seed Randy Arozarena. Randy Arozarena is in this. Pete Alonso, the polar bear, at the number 2 seed, will face 7th seed and hometown favorite Julio Rodriguez. And 3 and 6 go Mookie Betts and Vladdy Guerrero Jr. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. versus Luis Robert for the Home Run Derby. Wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't that be absolutely amazing to see? We'll find out next Monday night in Seattle. And you have this piece of unfortunate news as a TV cameraman was struck in the head by a ball from an errant throw at Yankee Stadium. After roughly a 15-minute delay, as medical staff attended to the cameraman, he was secured to a stretcher near the Yankees dugout. Pete Stendel of the Yes Network signaled to the crowd as he was carted off the field, raising his right arm as polite applause grew into louder cheers. 20 minutes after the Orioles' 6-3 win against the Yankees, a Yes spokesperson said that Stendel is conscious and undergoing tests in the hospital after being struck in the head by a ball in tonight's game. Orioles players vacated the field after a few minutes in the bottom of the 5th, following the incident which occurred during Anthony Volpe's at bat. Man, I hope he continues to stay conscious, because believe me, I have been hit in the head before while as an umpire, and anytime you get struck in the head, it is not fun to see. Not fun at all. So, Pete Stendel, we hope that you continue to recover and that you continue to be okay, and that you will be back in the camera well. First, Sean Clifford got Aaron Rodgers' locker. Now, the Packers rookie quarterback has a framed signed jersey and a message of support from Rodgers. Well, that's that for this whip around. And now we go to the Fanatics feedback zone as Ryan McCarthy's the first one in, saying, "Good day, Snow Crew. Good day to you. Today must be the gun show edition of Snowman in the Morning, because Snowman's showing off the guns. And they're getting better." The super producer, Shane Link, is in the building. The Joker is on a serious run. Should be a solid Wimbledon. I say it's going to be a runaway. Unless someone sneaks in and gets Djokovic, it's gonna be a runaway, and it's his Wimbledon to lose. Hawk TV says, good morning to you. And Sick Diggy joins us from Norway. And thank you, Sick, for pinch hitting yesterday during the Brian Snow Show. Very much appreciated. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. And yes, a message from the QB GOAT. Shut up! Okay, a message from the QB GOAT. He wore 16, not 12. Aaron Rodgers is mediocre. Take that, Hawk TV. And now I have the pleasure and the honor and the privilege of bringing in the man who is my executive producer and brought some order to this show. His name is Cole Johnson, and he joins me right now. Good morning, partner. Glad to have you.
Good morning, sir. Good morning to the Fan Feedback Zone. Good morning to those who are listening and watching. Appreciate the love. And
CSTV and BS3, we thank them for their continued support in airing the show. Thank you to WIRUDB in Chicago for airing the show as well. And yes, I'm calling my shot for the T-Mobile Home Run Derby right now. Vladimir Guerrero and Luis Robert Jr. in the finals. But I will say this, it is a very solid field for the Home Run Derby. Very solid.
Well, I'm glad they got that right.
Me too.
I think, at least with MLB, I think in a lot of ways they are rounding the corner and actually making better decisions. But
yeah, there's a big but to that.
Yeah, there's still some things that I just shake my head about. And
like the pitch clock, perhaps. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that aloud?
Yeah. I will still. I don't care how successful they'll rave about it. I still will contend. Whose job is that?
That's the umpire's job.
then why are they on the field?
That's the home. In particular, that's the home plate umpire's job.
Then why are they on?
This is from someone who was. This is from someone who was an umpire for 4 years.
Right.
I did the thing. 2 years actually. Yeah. I did the thing. Mm-hmm. Home plate umpire's job is the pitch clock. Period. Yeah. Yeah, if someone calls, I know you want to speed. I know they want to speed up the games, but stop it.
Fine.
Since I've been alive, games have taken 3+ hours because of the human element that's contained within the game.
Yeah.
Dear Lord.
Yeah. So if there's a need for a pitch clock, then why is there a need for an umpire? I mean,
especially for an umpiring crew.
Yeah. Especially the home plate umpire. I mean, we've already been debating on what's a ball and a strike. Now they can't keep time. I'm like, okay, well, what's the point of having a home plate umpire now?
What's the point of keeping time?
Yeah.
When when it's the home plate umpire's job to move the game along, but what if something happens?
Right.
What if something happens? That's not only on the home plate umpire. That's also is on the crew chief.
Crew chief. Mm-hmm.
I've done both.
Yep.
I've umpired games, though they were children's games behind home plate, and I've also been the crew chief. Trust me, it is the home plate umpire's job and the crew chief's job to keep the pitch clock. Screw a piece of electronics.
Yeah.
I know Jay is all for the pitch clock, and this is probably the only thing that we disagree with him, but that's the umpire's job. They're slowly, and with all the replay that's going on right now, you're taking the judgment and the human element out of the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can I get a witness?
That is my overall overarching question. It's like, okay, so we have replay that could judge correctly, obviously, what's out and what's safe. You now have computerized strike zones. You now have a pitch clock. Explain how an umpire is important now. Or explain the relevance of one.
You're taking the cat and mouse game. Thank you, Shane Lake, for this. And Shane, when he gets settled next month, is going to be just as heavily involved in the production of the show as Cole is. You're taking not only the human element out of the game, but you're taking the cat and mouse element out of the game.
Yeah, because
you're taking the cat and mouse element out of the game.
Because part of the appeal of baseball is the cloak and dagger, the strategy, what is the opposing manager going to do, and then how am I going to counter that? That's part of baseball.
You're talking Greg. I'll use two Hall of Famers here. You're talking Greg Maddux versus Frank Thomas. Okay, You're talking about one of the best pitchers ever, and Greg Maddux, and one of the best hitters ever. Who's going to win that battle?
Yeah.
Okay. And I had someone say to me, well, Frank Thomas is just a home run hitter. Obviously, you haven't watched baseball.
He's a lifetime 301 batter. So
I'll add this.
If home run hitter, okay.
And I'll add this. Obviously, you haven't watched baseball. Obviously, you haven't watched Frank Thomas.
Yeah.
The professor, exactly. The Bulldog versus the Big Hurt.
Wouldn't
that be a dream matchup for y'all? As a matter of fact, light up the chat with this question. What is a dream pitching/hitting matchup that y'all would like to see? Let's take a break. And when we come back, Stefon Diggs, close your mouth, please. Close your mouth and play football. Period. Back in a couple.
We're not a cooking show. We're a show about cooking. We turn the camera around and point it at you. Our show takes place right inside your kitchen.
Hey y'all, Snowman here. catch me, Cole Johnson, Wise El Jefe, and the usual cast of characters as we bring it to you every Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern. It's 10 a.m. Man in the Morning with Cole Johnson, and it's right here on CSTV and CSTVnow.com. Join us, won't you?
I'm in another lane, I'm a different breed. I'm everything you can never be. I'm next level. Next level.
Thursday nights are wrestling night on CSTV. Tune in every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific to see all the amazing Next Level Pro Wrestling stars on Thursday Night Throwdown on CSTVnow.com and the CSTV app on your Roku device.
Because we take this job so serious.
I'm sorry. I did that all wrong. My bad.
Do it right, will you?
Oh, God. Brother guest, I'm so glad, Ryan, that you here on Coffee with McCarthy. I love you.
Oh, Lord, you beat me to it.
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson.
You ain't got a piece of sense for that. 16 after the hour. Welcome back to Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Ohtani versus Ruth. That's a 40 pitch at bat. Sorry. That's a 40 pitch at bat. I saw a 20 pitch at bat featuring, if you can believe it, Bartolo Colon.
Yeah.
I've seen a 20 pitch at bat. Johan Santana versus Aaron Judge, that's a 2-pitch at bat. Why? Because I love you, Santana, but he only had 2 pitches, and they were both off speed. And you want to throw that to Aaron Judge?
Yeah, that's a good point.
You want to throw that to Aaron Judge? Pedro versus Albert? There you go. Pedro Martinez versus Albert Pujols. Unit versus Manny Ramirez? Seen that. 4 separate times. Each has won twice. Seen that. Maddox versus Big Papi. Damn. That's one you need to get your popcorn for. That's one you need to get your popcorn for. Here's one for you. Who remembers Orlando El Duque Hernandez? I saw him live.
El Duque. Yeah, I remember.
I saw him live. All right. Yes, I remember El Duque. And El Duque, just like Wise, hates Boston. And Wise, I hate you, but I love you because I'm now knee deep in Chat GPT, which has handled a couple of my live reads for me. Darn you, including this one. Forget the hassle of long ticket lines and limited options. With SeatGeek, buying tickets is a breeze. Simply browse, select, and purchase. With each ticket vetted vetted for authenticity and ranked on a 1 to 10 scale, it's easy also for you to see where you will be sitting. Join millions of happy fans who trust SeatGeek for their live event needs. And right now, if you log on to SeatGeek.com, use the code Snowman, you will receive $20 off of your first purchase. Ryan versus Frank Nolan Ryan versus Frank Oh, Lord.
But didn't that happen, though?
No.
It didn't?
No.
Because I know all of them were in the majors at the same time.
Actually, I take that back. Yes, it has.
That's what I'm saying. I think all of them were in the majors at the same time. Yeah.
Yes, it has.
Yeah.
To football business. Bills quarterback Josh Allen has attempted to clear the air on the situation involving his star receiver Stefon Diggs' absence from minicamp last month. While the situation was ignited by Bills coach Sean McDermott, saying he was, quote, very concerned, close quote, after Diggs missed a minicamp practice session, Allen said the situation was overblown by media coverage.
Right.
You know what? I will stop reading there, and I have a simple response, and it goes like this.
No, you believe it.
Round of money. My man.
Don't believe that, Ish. Don't believe it.
As OJ says, my man, solid on that, my brother. Yes, sir.
I appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
But you know what? Listen. First of all, the Bills don't have a running situation.
Unless you want to call Josh Allen their running situation.
They don't have a solid running. They don't have a solid running back, which is going to contribute to their demise. And second, you got this, which is going to lead to this. And it's already led to this. It ain't good. Don't see when people decide to get on a podcast or on an interview and quote attempt to clear the air. Stop it. Stop it. You know there's a problem. A big ass problem.
Yeah.
There's a big problem with that.
Can you say spin? I knew you could. That's exactly what this is. It's a straight up spin.
Oh, spin, you say?
Oh, yes, sir. Oh, yes, sir.
I thought you'd appreciate that.
Oh, yes, sir. 100% that's a spin. You know it's a spin. I mean, because
okay, by a show of hands, who doesn't see this as a spin?
I mean, come on. I mean, they were tight in panels was 2 sizes small on Thanksgiving Day.
Yep.
And then less than 2 months. Yeah, and then less than 2 months later, you have Diggs getting all into Josh Allen's grill when they got bounced in the divisional round. Snow falling in Orchard Park.
Cincinnati Bengals. And it was at Rich Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
That should tell you everything you need to know, because the last Buffalo team that took an L at Rich Stadium that I remember was before Jim Kelly.
And it wasn't just a regular L. I mean, they gave up 173 yards on the ground to a team that they're decent in running, but they don't run at a 170-yard clip.
Let me put it this way in terms of numbers, since people think I don't know numbers. They gave up 173 yards, the Bills defense did, to a team that was 24th in running.
Yes.
24.
A team that's pass first, they gave up 173 yards on the ground to them.
And a total of and they gave up 400 yards of offense. This Bills defense was supposed to be one of the best in the business, and they got exposed in their house in the snow in January.
Yeah, all ways around. All 3 levels got exposed.
That first drive told you everything you needed to know about that game, because Josh Allen and Stefon Diggs couldn't connect on their first offensive possession, and they wind up turning the ball over, and then Cincinnati shoved it right down their throats for a 14-0 lead.
Mm-hmm. And you just blinked, and the Bills were fighting an uphill battle all the rest of the game long. And
all day. And they surrendered. The Bills defense surrendered 17 points in the first half. 17.
Because that's all I needed to see. So I was like, okay, so a team that don't really run that well, you gave up 170 yards on the ground against them. That basically tells me that the whole team
in the first quarter. Yeah. Think about it. 70 of those yards.
70 of those in the first quarter.
Quarter.
So that tells me the whole team, forget the physical aspect of it all, because of course that's what football's about.
Yes.
You basically took and with your heart.
Let me read the full quote that Josh Allen said in an attempt to spin this. Open it.
Quote.
The media has blown this so far out of proportion. We are in rookie or mini camp. We're not playing a game for 4 months. He doesn't show up for 1 day. He's still there. Coach asked him to go home. They're in talks. They're trying to resolve some things. It wasn't anything major. And the media blew it up. They're still talking about it. Let it go. There's no reason to continue talking about it.
Close quote.
Go.
And now a selection from the Wonder Bread Choir entitled Wonder Bread Man be lying.
Can I put this in the form? Can I put this in the form of a question, kind sir?
Yeah, please. Please.
The question is this. Hey, Josh Allen.
Why the you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my gosh. Stop lying. Oh.
You know what this is akin to for me?
Great bold line.
The situation 2 years ago with one Deebo Samuel, when the Niners were just trying to work out the money and the media blew it out of proportion. In that case, and that's one of the rarest of cases where it was blown out of proportion, because anyone who follows the money knew they were going to re-sign Deebo Samuel. It was just a matter of how many years and how much they can put up front. That's it.
Now, I'll say this. Yeah, I think they were off in number, and I think I think Deebo shows some frustration. Yeah, but who wouldn't show frustration if you feel as though you're worth something and the organization you're working for, whether it is an organization that is in professional football or outside of athletics, if they deem that you aren't worth that price tag, don't you feel as though you feel slighted by the organization that you're working for if you think that they don't think you're as worth what you're worth? So, yeah, I mean, that's a human reaction that Deebo showed. And it's like, okay, well, I want to make sure they're loyal to me. I don't think they are right now, but I'm not going to say much. But I don't think they're loyal to me. And that's okay. That's okay. Sometimes you feel that way. And then there's times when you do work things out, the loyalty's there, because then what the 49ers did with Deebo, they rewarded him and they said, you know what, Deebo, the worth you say that you are, you're correct. You are worth that. And we think you're worth that.
And
so
they
let's
gave
get
him
this deal
exactly
done.
what he was, and they gave him exactly what he was looking for.
Yeah.
They
So
gave
that
him
happens.
exactly and they had to free up some space.
Yeah.
To be sure they signed one of the most dynamic players in the league, and one of the biggest keys to their offense. So they weren't going to free. They weren't going to free.
No.
What did I tell you the first day you broke that story? What was the first thing I said?
No, the 49ers will re-sign him. And I figured they were too. I was just wanting to know how they were going to make the books happen for him to be re-signed. That's all concerned me. I mean, but we can stay in the same area, go in a different sport, and travel up about 45, 50 minutes. What did I say the moment I heard, oh, Draymond Green is about to be a free agent? What was the first words out of my mouth?
He's staying put. He's staying put.
1 week, 4 years, $100 million later, where is he?
Let's see, with the team that drafted him. Poised to make another run.
And I backdoored it by saying also, quote,
yes, sir.
All right, Draymond, go out there. Let's see what your worth is to the rest of the league. You come back, you tell me what's the highest price. We'll either match it or beat it. Close quote. And since Draymond didn't want to go anywhere, all the Warriors had to do was match whatever the biggest offer was. That's all they had to do.
And not only did they match it, they exceeded it. They exceeded it. I mean, this is a team that thinks championships. Same with Denver. Same with the Houston Astros. Same with the Kansas City Chiefs. Anyone that thinks championships, they look at that.
Now, this is where and I'm glad you brought up Deebo, and I had to bring up Draymond to hammer this point home. I think you see this same situation with Diggs in Buffalo the same way as I do.
Yeah,
Victor says it right there. It doesn't look that way.
It really
no, it does not. No, it does not. We were thinking, after the Bills got to the AFC Championship game and they unfortunately took it on the chin to the Chiefs, we were thinking, okay, well, Diggs probably feels bad, but I think he felt as though he was on a team that probably would want to go further. And in the time since then, I think he has seen that he's not quite as happy there.
Exactly.
And when that happens, you're going to see some feathers be ruffled. And I'm not so sure that Stefon is going to sign on the dotted line to be back with the Bills yet.
He's not. I will tell you right. He's not. I mean,
and I don't even think it's all about money with him. And that's another thing.
No, it is no. Listen to me carefully, you guys. This is nothing to do with money when it comes to Stefon Diggs. Nothing. It comes down to this. When you look up the numbers, he was not the most targeted man on the offense.
Bingo. That's what it is. It's that simple, that cut and dried, that plain. Either he wants to be the unquestioned number one guy on that offense other than Josh Allen, or there's going to be a problem.
Because their tight end got the most targets.
Yeah.
His name escapes me right now.
Yeah.
His name escapes me right now.
Knox's last name, I can't think of it.
Dawson Knox.
Dawson, thank you.
Dawson Knox. Thank you.
Yeah, Dawson Knox got the most.
Name.
Yeah. Dawson Knox got the most looks from Josh Allen.
That's been the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's been the last 2 years. Matter of fact, I believe this year he got the third most targets on that in that receiving core.
And when you're brought on to be the difference maker in the passing game, and you see two other people who get more chances at balls than he does, don't you think, even if you believe that the wide receiver position is a diva position, don't you believe if you were in Stefon's shoes that you would feel slighted and feel some type of way too?
Yeah, and plus, given the fact that they brought in Dalton Kincaid out of Utah, okay, and not only that, you know who got the second most targets on the Bills last year? Gabe
Davis? Because I was about to say,
Gabe Davis owns the longest touchdown pass in Bills history, not Stefon Diggs.
I was going to say, I think what could be part of the downfall of that team was after that epic divisional round loss, not this past year, but the year before when they went to Arrowhead.
Yeah.
The talk of that game was the emergence of one Gabriel Davis. And I said to myself,
Gabe Davis.
Oh man. I was like, I hope the Bills do this right, because Diggs is probably gonna feel slighted. I'm not saying he felt slighted that game, but I can see how it could be that way if that continues on in 2023, and I'll be doggone in 2022 it did.
Here it is.
Because Davis was the most targeted wide receiver on the team, and Diggs was not even the most targeted or second most targeted receiver on the team.
Not even the second most targeted receiver.
And so when that is apparent, and I know the Bills sold them the bill of goods of, okay, well, you're a top 5 receiver. We believe you're a top 5 receiver, and you're going to get top 5 receiver attention from us on our offense.
No,
and when you don't see it, this is what's going to result.
And he's not getting top 5 receiver attention.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gotten top 5 receiver attention since he's been there. I mean, this is the parallel I will draw. There's a receiver that played in Buffalo by the name of Andre Reed.
One of the smoothest wide receivers of all time.
You see the parallel I'm drawing. I mean, Stefon Diggs is trying to be Andre Reed, and Josh Allen doesn't see him as Andre Reed.
Yeah.
And see James Lofton.
Yeah, I was going to say, and the relationship that Jim Kelly had with Andre Reed was special because they had that feel of no matter what time of the game it was, especially if it's a crunch time, Jim Kelly could have gone anywhere else. And he had a bevy of weapons, and he did go to the others. He spread the love. But when he really needed the tough yards, or when he really needed the big yards, or when he really needed the big play, 83. He went to whom the most?
83.
Number 83.
Andre Reed.
And Stefon Diggs feels in his heart, even though He may big up and dap up Josh Allen all the way from here to Timbuktu and back.
Mm-hmm.
He feels in his heart Josh Allen doesn't look for number 14 when it is crunch time.
You saw it in the game. We mentioned this a few moments ago, and I know we're due for a break, but I'll make this final point. You mentioned it a few moments ago in the divisional game at home at Rich Stadium against the team that was 24th in rushing offense. 24, and you allow 173 yards on the ground. Let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to get totally Dietz, and we're going to have some fun with the ESPN layoffs. Oh, good Lord. Back in a deuce.
One of the great things about ordering meals from Mother of Macros is that you can do it from the comfort of your own home. Click the national or local delivery link to access the menu, and we'll ship the meals right to your door. We understand you won't always have time to plan, shop, prepare, and cook to provide healthy nutrition for your family, so the process is simple and saves you hours. We know you're busy, so our meals are professionally prepared and packaged. You only need to heat them up and enjoy. We provide macro-balanced, delicious meals chock full of fresh, local ingredients with none of the stuff you don't want to eat. Plus, our menu changes every week, keeping your taste buds wanting more. We take care of your meals so you can worry about everything else on your list. Mother of Macros.
I don't want to grow up. I'm basically a man-child. 2005 Burning Man. I put a single Mitsubishi 170-watt panel on the roof of my F-250, and I killed the batteries within like 15 minutes of the first time turning them on. So that's when I first got into solar. I was blown away by the customer service at Battleborn.
We want them to be happy with our product, because in the long run, they're the ones who are out there using it.
When you used to buy something American, like a car, something you knew was built really well, that's what I think of with Battleborn.
Hey, y'all, Snowman here. Catch me, Cole Johnson, Wise El Jefe, and the usual cast of characters as we bring it to you every Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern. 10 a.m. Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. And it's right here on CSTV and CSTVnow.com. Join us, won't you?
Passionate.
Come after me! I'm a man! I'm 40!
Unflinching.
Let's go back to losing. Parking was easier.
Unrelenting.
They're not going to keep him off the field tonight!
Totally.
This one has a chance!
Dietz.
That's not just a murmur, that's a full-blown fibrillation.
Here's our full-blown fibrillation on the Invader Coffee guest line. Dietz, what's going on, man?
What's up, man? And unfortunately, you are muted, sir. And you are still muted.
You're still muted.
There we go.
There we go. Hey, what's going on, guys?
Doing good. How about yourself?
Just getting through this holiday week.
Oh, I understand that.
Yeah, I do too.
I'm going to step out of the way for a moment, and I'm going to give Dietz the floor because, how'd you put it? Flops lead to feedback, lead to firings. Oops.
Yep. And we have been talking about this since the Super Bowl, since I've been coming on here. We have been talking about the decline of Disney for months now. And every time I come on and give an update on something that's happening with Disney, whether it's Marvel, whether it's Star Wars, whether it's their own programming, whatever it is with Disney, I have come on here and told you this can't go on much longer. Well, it finally hit, and look at what happened to ESPN, a Disney-owned company. No shock that they let go all of that talent that they got rid of.
Mm-mm. No, if you pay, to me, if you read the tea leaves, I wasn't shocked at all. I mean, I felt pained because being in the industry myself, I totally understood how Disney dictated ESPN. Disney said to them, look, you're losing money. And you've been losing money for God knows how long, because they had layoffs last year too. You've been losing money out the yang. So, the budget that you thought you had in the first quarter and the second quarter, we cutting that bad boy. So you're gonna have to release a lot of people. And and you're right. Disney's had to trim their stuff all across the board because the money, the windfall they were getting of money with all things MCU, that's starting to dry up.
That's drying up. How about we're coming off a holiday weekend where an Indiana Jones movie made a grand total of $9 million in London. $9 million in the UK. That is abysmal. This movie made $85 million over a 5-day weekend. A 5-day holiday weekend. And you just had your biggest asset. And not only that, but you have on the heels of it being called the biggest, most expensive movie ever produced.
Ouch.
And it made $85 million. It is just barely getting to 100 in 3 weeks it's been in theaters. And I guarantee you the next 3 weeks when you have Oppenheimer, Mission Impossible, and the rest of the summer movies coming out, this movie's going to get buried. And it has to make $300 million just to break even on the production cost. You throw in marketing, you throw in theater splits, and this is going to be the biggest flop in the history of as far as financially. This will be the biggest flop in ever. And you have that coming to Disney, and now you get the heels of this. And what I've been saying is this affects everything down the line.
Yeah.
And the last thing to go is ESPN. They couldn't continue doing what they were doing.
Yeah, and of course it's going to affect the sports arm. I mean, because it has to affect it, for the standpoint of so the relationship that ESPN has with ABC and Disney is basically sort of like like in hip hop, it's like a subsidiary. It's like a subsidiary label tied to a big label, like Def Jam tied to CBS.
When ESPN took over,
it's like a distribution. It's like a distribution deal. That's basically what it is. ESPN functions on its own, but Disney gets the rights, and they get a certain percentage of whatever because they distribute it on their network, on ABC and their production.
So basically, what Disney is saying is, okay, you're the sports guys, you're the sports aficionados. We'll be hands off on how you do it, except we may throw your bone here and there. But you're the sports stuff. In fact, we have so much faith in you. You could take over ABC Sports too. So you have that arrangement, and you're seeing the results of it in 20 years.
Let's greet Tom.
And you look at the list of people that were let go.
Yep.
A lot of them don't make any sense. A lot of them don't make any sense as far as
none. It makes 1% sense though.
They got rid of Van Gundy, who was the only reason to watch NBA basketball on ESPN. So they got rid of him. The only reason to watch the pregame show was Jalen Rose. They got rid of him. Mm-hmm. The only reason to watch ESPN was to get NFL draft coverage. Oh, wait, Todd McShay is gone.
Todd McShay is gone.
Todd McShay is gone.
Was David Pollock. Everybody else on that program is basically a shill. Pollock was the only guy that you could watch, and you didn't know what was going to happen. Now he's gone. A lot of the people that they got rid of are the people who drive people to the network.
Who drive traffic?
So it makes a lot of they make no sense.
It's crazy.
And the only one I really feel bad. The only one I really feel bad for.
Go ahead, Snowman.
Go. Let's welcome Tom Boyle from CSTV.
And she's worked.
And Tom, I agree with you too, man. I think people are. I've been tired of remakes. Been tired of them.
Man, remakes suck.
Been tired of them.
Remakes suck. Okay, and I agree with Tom. No more remakes. None.
I agree with them too.
No more. No more remakes.
I totally agree with them.
Still trying to get our Ice Cube. Well, for those of you who missed it, it's up as a short right now where I made a plea to Ice Cube to let us air the big three games because Ice Cube is totally correct in the lack of coverage.
He's being
for the big three.
He's being frozen out. Yeah, he's being frozen out of the major networks. Yeah.
So I said, you know what? Let us do it. Give us a little funding. We'll provide you the coverage, and I'll slip on the headset. I'll be happy to slip on the headset for that. But back to what Dietz was talking about, and no more remakes. Stop the remakes, please. Stop the remakes, please.
They're not.
Dietz is behind us.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dietz is behind us. Hey, Dietz, why don't you jump out and jump back in and see if your signal improves?
Now
you can hear us.
They're not on CBS anymore.
Does a big fat no answer your question?
I thought they were. I thought the big three was on CBS or FS1. One of those.
They were.
Were being the operative word. Were.
Yeah, they were.
Now, looking at some of these firings. Okay, Dietz is going to jump out and jump back in.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at some of these firings, I have a conspiracy theory about why Jeff Van Gundy was fired.
Oh, that take us so cold. It's not even funny. Yeah, that take us. You can if you're gonna call it a hot take, that take us so cold. Because he is so critical of the NBA in general, and sometimes critical of ESPN too. I don't blame him either. And I think that's good for the sport. I think you need to have somebody who is so honest that it's like, okay, he's not basically crapping on the product, but he's basically saying this is something that needs to change because it worked well back then. It's not working so much now. And a lot of people are saying the product sucks now. And I know he hears it.
Here is where I think the chopping block was laid out for Jeff Van Gundy. Let's go back to 2013 when the Knicks were playing Miami in Miami. And you know who, quote unquote, suffered a flagrant foul against Tyson Chandler.
Oh, gosh.
And I'll never forget.
I remember I pulled the video of that. Yeah. It was like a slight forearm that I mean it hit LeBron and he didn't have to act. I mean, it hit him.
The worst you do is
but then he goes foul. I'm like, you are not an Alvin Ailey dancer, fool. And Tyson Chandler did not hurt you that bad.
No.
Get real.
Back into the left flop. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. And I'll never forget what Jeff Van Gundy said when he said, quote, what is this league coming to? I think beginning with that moment, because it was a nationally televised game. It was on ABC. That put him on the chopping block. But they couldn't find any other reasons. They couldn't find any other reasons to get rid of him because as Dietz mentioned, who is back with us now, as Dietz mentioned, Jeff Van Gundy was the only reason to watch the NBA on ABC.
Yeah, he drew eyeballs to the telecasts, so you couldn't get rid of him.
And Mark Jackson is like over dramatic as an analyst.
Oh, he's not over dramatic. You
Well,
mean,
again,
Mama,
you look-
there
you
goes
look-
that man, or
you look at all
hand
the
down,
people they got
man
rid of.
down.
Look at all the people they got rid of. It's all people who they come on, you don't know what they're going to say.
Exactly.
Everybody they kept from all those shows are all the people that toe the company line.
Mhm.
That will say whatever the company wants them to say. That's what they're going to say. They lost everybody who speaks their mind.
And I'm glad.
Well, you still have Malika Andrews, who she speaks her mind, but the reason why she's still on the network is, you mentioned it earlier, but I'm going to put it in.
Why the you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my gosh.
No, I'm not joking on this one. No.
Okay, go ahead.
I know, but I'm not joking on this one. No, the ESPN kept her because she's young, she's black, and to them she's pretty, and she will basically spit whatever script is put in front of her.
And you wonder why she wears an earpiece.
Yeah.
She speaks. She may speak her mind, but whatever her mind is exactly the mind of the producers. So
that's what I'm talking about.
It's all
right there.
They're all
right
on the
there.
same. They're all read. It
Yes.
might be
Yes.
her words, but they're all reading from the same book.
Oh,
And
I
I'll
agree
say
with
it
that.
again.
I want to agree with that.
I'll say it again. You wonder why there's an earpiece in her ear whenever she's on.
And
Look
that
at
is
the
why I
coverage
call
of the NBA draft.
Mhm.
Look at the coverage of the NBA draft from '84 when it was on TBS all the way to now. Why are they wearing earpieces now when they didn't? When the draft was, even when it got really big and they always had it in New York, and they started moving around the country. When ESPN took over the NBA contract in 2003, why are they all wearing earpieces?
They want to dictate what is being said on air.
Mm-hmm.
And that is why I call Malika Andrews Stage Steele Jr. because she plays from the same playbook as she does, and it's even more painful now because she's in her mid-20s, and I'm thinking, girl, really?
Mm-hmm.
You mean tell me you aren't learning Jack? And yes,
She hasn't.
and yes, you have the freedom to say certain things, like
But
if it has something to do with feminism, she'll say something along those lines that is probably unscripted.
Yeah, she always does.
Yeah,
That's
but beyond
that's the bleeping problem.
But beyond that, to Dietz's point, that's what I'm saying. But beyond that, to Dietz's point, she does go by the script of how the producers think, because a lot of ways they are in line with what she thinks.
Yeah,
I agree with that. Yeah,
yeah.
This is a girl who cried. She literally cried over Title IX. And we've had long discussions about how I feel about Title IX.
Yeah, we have.
And this is what she did.
Matter of fact, this is the first show where Dietz. This is the first show where Dietz unveiled his thoughts about Title IX. I'll never forget when you did it, because I was up in Michigan City when it happened. When Dietz absolutely unloaded on his thoughts about Title IX. But go on.
But yeah, seriously, what ESPN needs to do, and I know they pay attention to all this stuff, so I'm going to give them some free advice right now.
Yes.
All ESPN has to do is get back to what made them sports coverage.
Oh, you mean just straight up sports knowledge? Oh, what a concept!
Straight up,
like what we do for
20-minute sports centers.
Mm-hmm.
20-minute sports centers of scores, and that's scores and reports, and that's it, and that's it. 20 minutes done, and then you have the rest of the hour to talk about whatever you want. But you get all of that stuff in. You need to. That's what they need to get back to. They need to get back to reporting the sports, because you can sit there and watch SportsCenter for it's like an hour and a half long now, and you barely get any scores or anything. Everything is reaction to this, reaction to that. Have you ever actually sat down and watched First Take?
No,
I have.
They sit there
just to study,
and they will talk about one thing at the beginning of the show, and then they will talk about it 6 different times. They will talk about it. Oh, we'll get back to this later on. Like, they'll talk about we'll talk about Game 6. Now we'll preview Game 7. They talk about the same things over and over and over again, and it's like, this is not what you're supposed to give us information. And then go to the guys and say, what do you guys feel about this? They talk for a couple minutes, then you move on to another story.
Unfortunately,
they give us the same story for 3 hours straight.
Cole, read this comment from Ryan McCarthy, please. And I got the button ready.
Wait. We want ESPN to cover sports?
And the next one.
Oh, ESPN doing what's actually common sense? Here's the problem. I agree with all of what you said, Ryan. I agree with all what you said, Shane, and I agree with all of what you said, Dietz. Here's the problem. Being in media, I can tell you what the problem is. So you have people who look out and they see, okay, what is the talk of the town? What is the average person talking about? And then they want to
this.
And then they just remember they did a segment called the Oscar slap. Exactly. And so then they match that talk with whatever content they're going to present to you, to the people who are supposedly the ones who are charismatic enough to pull it off. And that's why you have a lot of ESPN programming, a lot of Fox Sports 1 programming, and even to a small extent, the NBC and CBS Sports programming, where you look at it and you're thinking to yourself, oh my gosh, it's like I am on Facebook or Twitter.
Yes. That's exactly what that is. And that's part of the reason I've gone away from watching FS1, CBS Sports Network, NBC Sports Network, because it's all the doggone same. And I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
I'm sick of it. I am absolutely sick of it. We're due for a break, and we got someone waiting in the wings. But Dietz, let me say thank you for hopping on this morning. I may need you this afternoon. I'll keep you posted. But man, always a pleasure to have you on, my friend.
See you, brother.
Passionate.
Definitely.
Come after
just hit me up.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Unflinching.
Let's go back to losing. Parking was easier.
Unrelenting.
They're not going to keep him off the field tonight.
Totally.
This one has a chance.
Dietz.
That's not just a murmur, that's a full-blown fibrillation.
The best way to experience live events, SeatGeek has you covered. Go ahead.
And now joining you for hour number 2, number 420, Wise El Jefe. Number 420. Sorry, I have to run. Good morning, gents. I have to run. I'll be right back.
All right. Looking for a best way to experience live events? SeatGeek has you covered. With just a few taps on your phone, you can find the best seats for concerts, sports, theater, and more. Don't miss out on unforgettable moments. Download the SeatGeek app today and get ready for an experience like no other. Each ticket is vetted for authenticity and ranked on a 1 to 10 scale. And right now, if you use the code Snowman, you'll get $20 off your first purchase. I'm going to curse out Wise, but I will do it very playfully when you all get back in 3 minutes.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
If you talk, they will hear you.
We all want our kids to grow up safe and healthy, so we show them how. And we tell them with honest conversations that let them know what we expect. Not just one time, but every chance we get. That's especially important when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. Kids not only need to know the dangers and how to avoid them, they need to hear it often from you. And when it comes to pain medications, opioids, they need to know that they should never be taken without a prescription and never shared with friends or family. It's dangerous and illegal. So talk with your kids and guide them through the challenges of growing up safe and healthy. Because when you talk, they hear you. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
So talk, they hear you. You can do it if you try.
He was only 58 years old when he passed away. That outcome could have been different.
Colorado happens to be one of the worst states for radon levels.
It's in our ground and it seeps up.
The more you breathe radon, the more chance you have of DNA being hit and the cell mutated. The EPA estimates 22,000 lung cancer deaths a year caused by radon.
We all make choices. When it comes to alcohol, kids make choices whether to drink or not.
Bye, Dad.
Bye-bye.
Remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
Have fun. Hey, have a seat for a second. Remind me about that party again?
Alex is just...
And adults make choices whether to talk about it. That's true of parents and every other trusted adult in a kid's life. Kids want to know our expectations when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. They want guidance and honest answers to their questions. And it makes a difference when the message is consistent and part of everyday conversations. So talk with your kids and help lead them on a positive path. Because when you talk, they hear you. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Time for hour 2 of this spectacular. Ryan McCoffey now joins us this morning.
That's what you need to do to beat Josh Allen. You need to make him uncomfortable.
Hour 2, time for some Spivey notes. And here's Jay.
Well, I know he's only in his 3rd year, but they're just wasting Justin Herbert.
Hour 2,
the hardest working content creator I know, the playmaker.
Hey, LeBron James, the greatest scorer of all time. Hey.
Hour 2, the one, the only Christopher Dietz.
They rewarded Ohio State for not playing, and they punished USC for playing.
Hour 2, Sam Shady.
Oh, man. It's been a roller coaster ride if you were a Philadelphia Stars fan.
Hour 2, that's Big Ben, the man in charge of the BS3 network.
And if I see Kurt 2 Chainz Cousins out.
Hour 2, Chris Bay's joining us.
Oh my God! Oh, this game! Oh, way to go, Sammy!
Hour 2 was El Jefe.
Oh man, I thought I missed it. What in the all types of blue hell?
Time for hour 2 of this spectacular, and it starts right now. It is indeed hour 2 of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson, and sitting in the chair, one wise El Jefe. How was your birthday, brother?
It was cool. It was cool. I didn't do much. Spent the time home chilling.
You had an incredible show yesterday. I'm just saying.
I wasn't even prepared. I should have. I just because I didn't have a show scheduled, and I was like, let me just.
Because you were going to take the day off.
Yes, I was.
You were going to take the day off.
But then I was like, no, I want to do something. I want to do something I love doing, which is podcasting, and I had a good time. It was cool. It was good. It's again, every time I go solo, it's just me improving and wanting to get better at it, and so I always have a great time when I get to create content. It's my outlet, and it's something I just love to do. So when I do it, I don't really think of it as work. It's just fun.
Yeah. Yeah. So true. I have a bone to pick with you.
Listen, ChatGPT is.
I am now knee deep in it. I am now knee deep in it. And I mean, I'm very playful when I say I got a bone to pick with you, but I am now knee deep in it. I'm knee deep in it now.
Oh, listen,
it saved me.
Listen, the reason I tell you to use it is because time is very something where, and we do so many things, right?
Yeah,
we do a lot of shows. You do a lot of things. You have a lot of things going on outside of content creation. So any way that we're able to save time and not waste it on and find a way that make it constructive, where I'm saving enough time now to do focus on other things.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm also setting up my my daily trivia. I'm going to record all those this evening and then just break them up and distribute them.
Bro, and I'm learning that doing my reels every day and promoting every day and creating some form of content and putting it out there. It's helped me in the way that it's getting me disciplined to really recording a reel or something and releasing some sort of content daily.
Right.
And even if it means that I got a batch record in one day where I record 2-3 of those reels, then not record for another couple of days, then that's what I do. I find a way to space things out. Like if I have time, like today, I'm probably going to record.
When you batch, let me ask you this: when you batch record, do you like set up something where it drops a certain time every day? When you,
I'm working on getting me that. There are programs that you can do the way you can upload your program, or you can upload. So I'm working on getting that tool. That's something I'm looking at different platforms. But yeah, they have things where you can release that they release content for you.
Okay.
There's tools out there that help you with that. I'm saying there is tools out there. So and those are things that I'm learning now as I go. These are things that I'm learning, and it's great because to be able to, whenever I learn new things, I love to share it with all you guys. I love to share it with you. I love to share it with Cole, because
we appreciate it.
I know if it's making life easier for me, how much easier it'll make it for everyone else. Where I'm able now, I send an automated email every Monday
to your email list. And the email list for me is growing, and that's gonna help.
So there's apps like AppSumo. I love AppSumo. It's a website where you get software at a discounted price, and some of these licenses are lifetime licenses.
Yeah.
So when they release it, when they no longer on AppSumo and they release it in other places, there might be a monthly recurring fee. But since you got it at that price on AppSumo, a lot of these licenses, the licenses are a lifetime. So there's licenses that people have been using for 13 years to this day that they use. So whenever I find a app like to do my reels, I have Big View. And the reason I got Big View is because it's a teleprompter on my phone. And so I write these scripts. I use ChatGPT, write these scripts, take them, put them in Big View, and I record my reels. And
how long are your reels? How do you format it?
Okay, so
do like
you have to keep it at, if you keep it at 60 seconds. Yeah, I told ChatGPT I need to write me a script for a reel for under 60 seconds. You
gotcha.
Like when you have to really put details into how you want. So when I did my 30 reels in 30 days, I went into ChatGPT and I inputted exactly what I wanted. I want to do 30 tips for 30 days for podcasters as some of the most basic things that people should know as podcasters. So it broke it down into 30 days. And so, and I chose 30 days because I wanted to make sure, I wanted to see if I can do it for 30 days. I wanted to see if I can go a month of just releasing a reel every day.
Mm-hmm.
And so far I've been so far I'm on point. I'm up to day 13. But it's just so much fun being able to create that content and have a tool that can help me break down all 30 days. And that's why I got the idea of maybe you should do a trivia facts 30 days and 30, like 1 month it could be 30 baseball trivia facts. The next month it could be the NBA. The following month it could be NFL. I'm saying that, so there's so many different ways you can flip it, especially when it comes to sports. Like the top 30, it could be one day, one thing could be the top, one of your reels could be for 30 days, you could count off your top 30 running backs of all time or your top power forwards of all time. So it's ways to, this is a way for you to get your audience engaged because they'll debate some of your choices. They won't like some of your choices, of course.
Of course.
And knowing you'll do it just to piss some people off. But
really?
But
when have I ever, I mean this very sarcastically, when have I ever done that?
so
when have I ever done that in 20 plus years?
It's so cool though to be able to have those options of like there's so many different things you can do content on.
Yeah.
And it's just implementing the ideas. It's just getting the ideas, implementing and putting them out there. There's enough ideas for you to go out and you can create one piece of content a day, or again, batch record it, however you do it. But when, like I said, if you're gonna use ChatGPT, you have to put in the right prompts. You have to put in the right information. You have to
you got to be very specific.
Yes,
because when I searched for my reads for SeatGeek and for BetUS, I mean they just came flying in.
You got to
so
be
I
very
took a couple
specific.
of those.
Yeah,
I took a couple of those and I pieced it together.
And that's what you're supposed to do. Yes, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to take it and piece it together and make it fit you.
And now I got like 5 different SeatGeek ads.
So now the next thing you need to do is input your personality into ChatGPT. Input who you are, what kind of person you are, what kind of energy you have, all this, and you can start teaching ChatGPT to be your left brain, your right brain, whatever it is. But you can teach it to respond as if you was responding.
Okay.
And so
like I told you, I'm knee deep in it.
Well, the crazy thing is, I'm learning all this now. This is
really
like ChatGPT been out since November, and Jeff Ravilla, he introduced me to ChatGPT, and he was like, "Bro, this tool right here, this tool right here." He said, "This tool right here is a game changer."
It is,
and it really is.
Even in the few hours I've learned ChatGPT, it is a game changer. It's a big time game changer.
To me, and for me, it's because of the most important thing: time. It helps you save time on things that
lots of it.
You really don't like. This sometimes like the creative process is not easy. There's certain things that sometimes you just draw a blank and you don't have any ideas. Maybe just go in ChatGPT and put some information like, I want to talk about this and this, and it'll spit out something like, you'll be like, oh, okay. Like you might be stuck on writing something, and the ad that I cut for Poppy J for his book, I used ChatGPT.
Wow.
I had it, and I mean the visual and everything. The ad about maybe I add this scene to it, add this kind of scene to it. It helped me really create the whole ad for the book.
Okay.
And so it's this again, it's how you word things and how you put it out. and then of course not all the responses are going to fit what you want. And
Right.
like you said, what you did was you was pieced it. You saw like,
Yeah,
oh, this
I
I like
pieced
this
it.
part.
I
I took
I
this
pieced
part,
it together. Yeah,
and
I
that's how
took
you got to keep.
like
That's how you got to do it. Yeah, like
I took
piece
3
it.
different pieces per ad to fill 45 to 60 seconds on a live read. Now I got 3 different reads, and I know I'm going to debut a couple of them this afternoon. Let's go to a break, and when we come back, there's a Yankee that is in trouble. Back after this.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
This planet has been great to me. It's given me gifts that I can't even explain. It's given me adventures and memories I'll never forget. And Battleborn, I think, has given me the opportunity to go beyond and give something back. How can I be a better custodian to this planet and the place I live? That's where I am with Battleborn. Let's make the planet a better place.
Hey everybody, Brian Snow here. Want to do some afternoon sports talk with me and be interactive? Also meet some great guests from every walk of life? Then tune in to the Brian Snow Show on CSTV and CSTVnow.com. Weekdays at 2 p.m. Come on aboard and enjoy the ride.
PK Tire Pro is your one-stop on-the-spot auto service headquarters for a complete line of quality tires and auto services. For years, we have provided the Stockton, California area with the latest products and unprecedented services for everything we sell. And for years, our customers have been coming back. Take a look around. If you don't find what you need, visit us in Stockton, California. From the latest and best in tire technology to the services required to keep your vehicle looking good and running great, PK Tire Pros can get you out on the road quickly and at an affordable price. Stop by soon to see why so many people consider PK Tire Pros to be the one-stop shop for all of their tire needs. At PK Tire Pros, our friendly and knowledgeable staff, quick and dependable service professionals, and affordable prices all come together to make driving out on a new set of tires easy. On top of that, we never tire of tires. Stop by and see us, and you'll be glad you did.
Cause we take this job so serious.
The f is that? Sorry, pardon me. My apologies.
What in the all types of blue hell? This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson.
I already have my first 2 players I'm going to profile for baseball. Thank you, ChatGPT, for that. I'll tell y'all who the players are. Speaking of which, Jimmy Cordero accepted a suspension for the remainder of the 2023 regular season and postseason due to violation of MLB's joint domestic violence policy. Aaron Judge said, quote, "It definitely came as a surprise to a lot of us Wednesday afternoon, shortly after the announcement." Judge also said, quote, "I'm hoping he can get some help and his family can get some help. I've got his family on my mind," close quote. Wise, the floor is yours.
Listen, why? I don't he gets what listen, he did the crime, he produced the time. I don't condone domestic violence. I was raised by 2 women, my mom and my sister. And so if it's true, if this is what happened, then he serves his time. That's it. I don't. It hurts the team because he was pitching well out the bullpen, and it helped us be one of the best bullpens in baseball. But at the end of the day, this is life.
It is.
His family is much more important than this game.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever it involves any kind of
I just
abuse,
want to know why men think they can get away with this. Boy, you know what? I'll add to that. Why do male athletes think they can get away with this?
No, you said it correctly. It's males. It's men. It's men.
Okay.
It's not just male athletes. It's some, but again, it's in the Latino world is a lot of machismo. I'm saying,
Yeah.
So men gotta, I'm the man, and again, we gotta cut that mentality out.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
These our women are precious. These are our mothers, our sisters, our wives, our daughters. They are the ones who give us life. So to ever put your hand on someone, any woman, especially you being a man, knowing physically a lot of men are stronger than women, and you're a pro athlete at that.
Yeah. And that just
So
adds to that.
yeah,
That just
that
adds.
just makes it even worse.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no reason whatsoever to put your hands on anyone.
None
whatsoever. So
there's no reason for that.
He got what he deserved. That's it. Like you break the policy. You put your hands on a woman. You did whatever you did.
Do the crime, do the time.
Yeah, I'm a Yankee fan, but I'm also a human being, and like I said, I was raised by two strong women, and if anyone ever put their hands on them, it'll be a problem.
Oh, big problem. Anybody puts a hand on any woman in my family, they got my ass to deal with.
Yeah. So
period.
At the end of the day, hey, I'm a fan, but I'm also a son, a father. So no, nope. Again, he's serving his time. When he comes back, as long as he doesn't get into trouble or he doesn't come, I'm good. I can't. When someone gets punished for their consequences, like when they come back, I'm not the kind of person that's going to keep judging them on that circumstance.
Yeah.
It's now how do you go forward? Are you a outstanding citizen going forward? Has this taught you a lesson? Has this situation shown you that you need to keep your hands to yourself? And if that's the case, then we can move on.
Great point.
You can move on, but to keep after he serves his time, to keep
doing it.
Yeah, keep doing that's something different. But and also to keep punishing him for, because say he does turn his life around, and for people to keep punishing him for it, it would be ridiculous. So again, there's always chance opportunities. So
and this better be a big one that he takes advantage of. It's costing him the rest of the season, but
he's costing him. It's costing him, his team, but
his community.
Yeah. So I hope he takes his time to mend the relationship he has with his wife or whatever the situation was. They can get it together, to get their life together. And like I said, if he comes out a better man from the situation, kudos, good. Like,
but this kind of punishment is necessary, as you said.
I agree.
As you said, Wise, for him to take the time, all the time necessary, for him to get his head screwed on straight, because you just don't do that and think you can get away with it. That's just not right at all.
Yep, absolutely.
That's just not right at all. And I've seen domestic violence in my family through the eyes of my sister firsthand. I've seen it firsthand, which made me prompt the question, why do men think they can get away with this? It's not right. Knowing, and also, you know what, Tom, you just brought up a great point. Hope he gets anger management classes. That's got to be a part of it.
Oh no, everything, all that. You have to seek help. You have to seek help.
You have to,
because especially if it's his wife and they have kids. This is the mother of your children.
And you put your hands on her. Fashion, why?
Yeah, no,
that's unacceptable to me. That's totally unacceptable.
Definitely.
I've had people say to me, what if she gets on your nerves? First of all, I married the right woman, so I got no reason to put my hands on Jody in a threatening fashion at all.
Yeah.
But if anybody tries to put their hands on my wife or my daughters or my granddaughters in a threatening fashion, I'm running them over with my arm. Period. I protect my family. End of story.
Yeah. And absolutely sick. No woman should put their hand on. Listen, no one should put their hands
no
on
one should
anyone.
put their hands on anybody in a
There's
threatening
no
fashion.
reason anyone. You're not nobody's
And
parent. Nothing. Like you shouldn't put your hands on anyone.
And Victor, you said something I live by. If you can't talk it out, leave.
Walk
I live by
away.
that.
Walk away.
Walk away.
Like walk away. And I get it. I've seen situations where the woman will attack him when he's walking away. Like, yo, you're not leaving nowhere. We're gonna.
Been there.
There are situations. I've seen it firsthand. I know. So it's and it's again, it's both ways. It goes both ways. It does. But in this situation, they found that he was the guilty party. So he has to accept it.
And it does go both. And it does go both ways.
Well, look, Jonathan Majors is a prime example right now.
Yep.
This woman called abuse on him, and come to find out, she's the abusive one.
She's the abusive one.
She's the abusive one. But again, because we're men, society finds us guilty just on the fact that we're men.
Yep.
They're like, oh, it was a man. He did. Of course he hit her.
Mm-hmm.
Why would she make this up?
And in my case, the question was posed to me by the LaPorte Police Department as well as other men. Why couldn't you just handle your business?
Because then you come in and you arrest me. Because then you come in and arrest me, saying that I'm abusive. So no, it's like, so you want me, and that's what this is the situation is. You want men to come in and tell you like, hey, listen, my wife has hit me. For what? So you can laugh? Because that's what the men. Oh, you can't handle your wife. You can't control your wife.
And Victor just said it, and it's something we just echoed. And I know a lot of men that have gone through abuse can echo this. Men are guilty by default. They're guilty by default, because when I went through my abusive relationship with Jody Dials in 2015, I was guilty by default. When I described every 3 major incidents that happened between she and I, and they looked at me and laughed.
Yeah.
They laughed, and it pissed me off.
And when we discussed it on mentality, the first thing we said is, look at that, everybody's already attacking him.
Yes,
we said, listen, how do we know she's even telling the truth?
And that was the best question put forward.
When men come
forward,
everybody attacked him. Yeah, everyone attacked him, saying he's guilty, he's guilty, he's guilty, he's guilty. This black man did it.
And as it turns out, he was innocent. He was the one getting abused. You know who it took for people to believe me that I was getting abused? My pastor at the time. Because he read something in her that I didn't. I didn't pick up anything in her attitude that could signal I could get abused. Man, there are so many times where men need to be taught to walk. Well, let me flip that. Men are taught to walk away, but at the same time, and why, as you just mentioned it with the Jonathan Majors situation, they get egged on by the woman that keeps pushing them, that keeps pointing a finger at them, that
So the
keeps
big dog
putting a finger in their chest.
The big dog shared his story. He said about his ex, and it's crazy. Like he tried to move away from this. Look, he's talking about he tried to move away from the situation. She hit him with a 2-ton Nissan.
Well, it didn't get that far for me, but I got the hell stalked out of me.
Bro, it's crazy. So
it is, man.
And the thing is, again, we're guilty until proven innocent, regardless of the situation.
And it's
Johnny
sad.
Depp, another example. He was guilty. He was guilty in the public eye. They fired him from all these jobs. He lost all these endorsements.
Yep.
We come find out this chick is taking shits on his bed. That's some crazy stuff.
Yeah, it is.
But yet, because we're men,
we get the finger pointed at us immediately.
We're guilty automatically.
We get the finger pointed at us.
It doesn't care. There's nothing to prove that it's true. It's because it's said. It was already said. They said it. They said they're not lying. It's the truth. All men are guilty. They're all capable of this.
Well, I'll finish the thought on my situation if you'll give me a few minutes. This is tough for me to talk about, but I feel that it needs to be talked about. You know why men don't come forward? Fear. Absolute fear. Because I was afraid to come forward when I was getting hit. I was afraid to come forward when I was getting verbally and emotionally and physically abused. Because of that very reason. Didn't think anyone would believe me. You know, all my friends are telling me go to police and see what happens. And when someone said that to me, that right there, and see what happens, that already made me apprehensive of going and telling my story. And and Shane, you just said the first question I got asked by one of the officers. What did you do to provoke her? And I nearly went off then. But I realized then this is no longer my fight. And I had to walk away to the point where, and Shane, you know this because you rode shotgun with me when all this was going on, to the point where I hid in a hotel for 3 months. So she wouldn't find me, so she wouldn't talk to me or anything. I hid in a hotel in Michigan City for 3 months. I don't know how I wound up paying for the thing, and I got a big assist from the manager there who figured out what was going on. He figured out what was going on because there would be times I would come in and I would have a hat on, I'd have sunglasses on, and that was one of the rare times I wear sunglasses. And he sat me down in his office and said, "What happened?" And I told him everything. And he says, "As long as you stay here, it's on the house." The hotel where I got a deal from in LaPorte, I nearly lost that because the manager thought I was doing something to her when I went into her office and explained everything. And I also told her, unless you see a signed document from me with my name on it, and I'm the one that makes the request for a night in this hotel, nothing happens. So if you're guilty as a man, if you're guilty of being abused and there's proof, you need to do your time. Period. End of story. Do the crime, do the time, like Wise said.
Yep.
But at the same time, there's a lot of men that get abused and it goes uncovered and it goes untouched. So no one should put their hands on each other, period. No one should put their hands on each other. Wise and Snowman hanging out? Back in the deuce.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
This planet has been great to me. It's given me gifts that I can't even explain. It's given me adventures and memories I'll never forget. And Battleborn, I think, has given me the opportunity to go beyond and give something back. How can I be a better custodian to this planet and the place I live? That's where I am with Battleborn. Let's make the planet a better place.
Hey everybody, Brian Snow here. Want to do some afternoon sports talk with me and be interactive? Also meet some great guests from every walk of life? Then tune in to The Brian Snow Show on CSTV and CSTVnow.com. Weekdays at 2 p.m. Come on aboard and enjoy the ride.
PK Tire Pro is your one-stop on-the-spot auto service headquarters for a complete line of quality tires and auto services. For years, we have provided the Stockton, California area with the latest products and unprecedented services for everything we sell. And for years, our customers have been coming back. Take a look around. If you don't find what you need, visit us in Stockton, California. From the latest and best in tire technology to the services required to keep your vehicle looking good and running great, PK Tire Pros can get you out on the road quickly and at an affordable price. Stop by soon to see why so many people consider PK Tire Pros to be the one-stop shop for all of their tire needs. At PK Tire Pros, our friendly and knowledgeable staff, quick and dependable service professionals, and affordable prices all come together to make driving out on a new set of tires easy. On top of that, we never tire of tires. Stop by and see us, and you'll be glad you did.
Cause we take this job so serious.
The is that? Sorry, pardon me. My apologies.
What in the all types of blue hell? This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson.
Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson, YSL Jefe Pinch Hitting. It's brought to you in part by BetUS.com. Listen up, sports bettors. Your favorite sports book is back in our 30th year of action with live in-game betting, incredible odds, daily odds, boosters, props, and parlays, fast payouts, and exceptional one-to-one customer service. We got it all. And when you sign up and use the code Snowman, you will get a 125% deposit match on your initial deposit. Log on to betus.com or call 800-792-3887. That's 800-79-BET-US. BetUS.com, where the game begins. YSL Jefe hanging out with me, and that last segment was kind of difficult, but I'm glad we got through it. And Wise, you offered some great takes on the situation, my man.
It's easy. Like, that's why I love talk. Like, this show is not just sports. We talk we talk life here sometimes. Sometimes we just come on and we talk life.
Yeah, we do.
We've experienced different walks of life, and if anywhere where we could share any information that helps or just shows people that we can overcome situations like this, I love these conversations. These are the conversations we need to have to show that, hey guys, you're not alone out there. We definitely understand the situation. There's situations where the man is in the wrong, but there's also plenty of times when the man is not in the wrong. But again, we jump to conclusions and accuse them. So to be able to show examples that, hey, listen, it's not always the man. Like, we are not always guilty. Like, give us the opportunity to prove our innocence. Don't already assume that we are guilty.
But why do you think you said something on mentality that men are constantly under attack, and it's so true.
But
why do you think men are not given the chance to prove themselves innocent?
Who knows? But listen, we are constantly attacked though, because only thing for men, the only thing that matters is results. That's what all people care is. What can we give you? What can we provide? So all that matters for anyone, for men, is results.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter whatever struggles we got to go through, whatever issues we might have. At the end of the day, if we're not we're not providing results, then we're not men. And that's bull.
It is.
And that's bull. So that's why I say, and Poppy, this is one thing. Poppy's like, he's pro man. And I understand now why he says he's pro man. Because it's always, what are you doing? What are you providing? What are you providing?
Yeah.
What is it that you're providing? Like, why do I always got to provide? Like, why can't it be a mutual thing? And it's just crazy because
society says it can't be a mutual thing.
It's like we can't show emotions. Like we can't be just like everyone else.
We're supposed to just walk around like robots doing what we're
basically
supposed to do.
Basically, yeah.
We're supposed to just walk around like robots doing what we're supposed to do every day. No one cares that men get worn out, they get emotionally drained, they get physically drained, and they get spiritually drained. And a lot of that is spurred from society saying you're the man, you're supposed to do this. And you're like, wait a minute, can I have something to lean on first? Can I just establish something first here? And we're not allowed to.
Mm-hmm.
We're just
You're
not
right.
allowed to. And it ain't fair.
No, it's not. Because how are we supposed to keep providing, but no one is providing for us? What kind of
say that again, please?
What is people providing for us? What are you bringing? What kind of how can I continue to give, right?
And you get nothing back in return.
And not receive anything. Like, how do my energy is like if I'm giving all my energy and no one is sharing their energy with me and not helping me replenish myself, then I'm just gonna collapse.
And when you collapse, you get the finger pointed at you.
Oh, you're a man. You shouldn't be you can't be weak.
All through high school growing up, I was told that. You can't do any emotion.
No, it's like, what do you mean? I'm giving it my all, and yet once I get drained and I'm tired and I'm weak. Oh, you can't be that. You're a man.
You're supposed to have endless amounts of energy, and that's just plain wrong, and that's a lie. Seen it in my family with my dad and my granddad and my uncles. When they were, I'll say it, when my dad was at the end of his life with the prostate cancer and the chemo just eating him up, he was just plain tired. In many ways, he was just plain tired. And I've realized that now after going through a cancer fight, going through chemotherapy, and remembering what dad went through. He was just exhausted. And when men are exhausted and their energy and their reserve energy is tapped out, they become even more vulnerable than ever. And I want to highlight this comment that Sick just said. Is this not true? The term provider reduces a man to a wallet. It's a truth. Because and why, as you just said it a moment ago, we're constantly asked, "What are you providing for me?" And you're like, "What? I just got here." Can we establish something first? This is where I applaud my Jody, my Dr. K, because we established something with each other when we first met. We started talking as friends when we first met, and we've been that way. We've been that way since then. She's gotten to know me. I've gotten to know her. And when I went down and got diagnosed with cancer, and I was so afraid. I was just so afraid that I wouldn't be able to provide for my family, which is where my mind first went. Jody yanked me aside and said, "Look, I just want you first and foremost to get healthy. Worry about everything else later. I want to see you healthy, and I need you here." How often is a man told that? Just flat out told, "I need you here."
It's definitely something that we need to keep champion, man. Like this is a topic that we gotta keep champion and talk about, because again, like I said, he was found guilty, then he serves the time, and I have no problem with that.
I have no problem with that either.
But there are instances where the man is not. Again, it's like he's guilty until proven innocent, and that's bull. It shouldn't be that way. And again, it's so because if it's crazy because like you said, we're afraid to go seek help because we don't want to be ridiculed.
Right.
We don't want to be the joke. We don't want to be the butt of the joke of town, whatever it is, whatever.
Mhm.
Because people are gonna find out, oh, that's the man who called the cops on his wife because he gets beat up.
Yeah. Yeah. And the butt of it, like you said, the butt of everybody's jokes because he defended his life.
Mm-hmm.
He feared for his life.
Yeah.
He feared for his life. Let me say it again. He feared for his life and acted on it. And yet he's reduced to being the butt of everybody's jokes because he feared for his life and acted on it.
So it's sad. It's sad that it is this way. And I wish it wasn't. I wish it was. But again, if we just got to keep championing it, keep it so that we don't go attacking people till we really get the whole story. And that's how it is. It's people get attacked instantly without knowing the facts.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the facts come out, like, oh damn! And then this person's life is ruined, career is ruined because we didn't wait to get the facts. We just wanted to find them guilty before anything.
And that's why I waited to weigh in on the Jonathan Major situation, because when all of that was coming out that he was being abusive, my spider senses went up and said, something's wrong with this. And I stood back and waited. And I've had people ask me, what do you think of this? What do you think of this situation? And then people were mockingly asking me about it. Since you supposedly went through an abusive situation, which I did, what do you think of this? I'm not going to weigh in until all the facts come out. Then all the facts came out, and I just sat back and watched the storm.
Mm-hmm.
I just sat back and watched the storm.
And that's what me and Cole did when we did the mentality, because we just felt like to us, you see how you said your spider senses are tingling. We kind of like this is kind of, it was like, yeah, something fishy here, like something like we like something fishy here, like we don't nah, we don't believe this. And this is what we said. I said, like, no, I don't believe this story. This is not for some reason me and Cole knew like this story was not true.
Oh hell yeah. Oh hell yeah.
Like this is just sounding fishy to us. So,
and it got even fishier.
Yeah.
The more she put out. It got even fishier the more she put out. And Victor just said it. Due process has become a 4-letter word nowadays.
Yep.
Which it has. It's become a big 4-letter word. Speaking of due process, a short time after the Supreme Court gutted affirmative action in college admissions, NFL senior leadership sent a remarkable letter, and I'm reading from USA Today, to all league employees reiterating the league's commitment to having a diverse workforce. I'll read part of it here. In light of the public interest in today's Supreme Court decisions and possible speculations about their scope and application in other business settings, we want to be clear about the NFL's commitment. I'll stop there. They want to be They want to be clear about the NFL's commitment, but then that brings a question to mind, and it also brings it brings a couple of things to mind. And of course, I'm talking about the Rooney Rule, and in a question to you, Wise. Well, two of them. A, do you think it's solid? And B, how much longer will it last? And the smile on Wise's face tells me everything I need to know about his answer upcoming.
Bro, so this is something that I'm gonna talk about soon. I know Cole probably have something on it.
Oh yeah,
because you have a Supreme Court judge on there who took advantage of affirmative action to get to where he is, and now strikes to bring it down, to overrule it, and it's crazy because the reason it's there is because there are practices that minorities don't get a shot.
Mm-hmm.
Men, minority men, women. The affirmative action is just not for people of color; it's for women as well.
Yes,
it's for people homosexuals. It's
for everybody.
But I guess they. So if that's the case, then are they going to ban? Like on the census, why do we have to describe who we are? Why do on anything I have to describe that I'm a black male or Hispanic male or whatever?
Right. And what did Victor Locke just say in the chat? Just doesn't look right.
Yeah.
It just doesn't look right at all. It doesn't.
It's and the NFL. First of all, the Rooney Rule sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're just interviewing any one person. Like, see, I interviewed my token Negro.
And they think that qualifies as them using the Rooney Rule.
Yeah.
They think that qualifies them for using the Rooney Rule because there were so many other coaches. There are so many other blacks that should have gotten opportunities as coaches in the NFL.
But yeah, they retread these same ones over and over
and over again.
How many times is Chip Kelly going to get a job? How many times is basketball Bob Huggins? How many times is he going to
get a second chance?
So now when you and I know that's college basketball, that's something, but it's still.
But it applies.
Yeah,
it applies. It certainly applies.
You have a lot of coaches that aren't given these opportunities because you're retreading these old. How was it that Adam Gase had a horrible tenure in Miami, and then went and had an even horrible tenure with the Jets?
With the Jets.
After. You telling me there was no one much more qualified than him?
Mm-hmm. There are so many other coaches
How is it that Joe Judge, and this is my Giants who did this hiring?
Yeah.
How do you go and get someone who's never been a offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator? He was a special teams coach.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't specialized in anything.
No,
kickoff returns
wasn't,
and punt returns.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you give him the job.
Yeah. Yeah. Yet you give him the job. What? And Ryan just said because Christopher Johnson made the mistake of listening to Peyton Manning about Adam Gase's credentials or lack thereof.
Exactly.
Ain't that the truth? And he also adds this. It's not just the NFL teams that hire retreads. Just look at the offseason coaching hires in the NBA and NHL. Yeah, ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
Ain't that the truth? And you wonder why the coaching ranks are where they are. That's all I have to say. And you wonder why the coaching ranks are where they are.
Yeah.
Now the rule is just another box to check.
Like, how is it that a Josh McDaniels gets another opportunity after the Denver fiasco?
After the Denver fiasco.
And then the nonsense with the Colts where he took the job and then quit like 24 hours later.
Mm-hmm.
And
he took the job and then he quit.
And now the Raiders are just trash.
And they're going to remain trash as long as Josh McDaniels is there. Long as Josh McDaniels is there. When the Raiders signed Jimmy Garoppolo, Cole's question to me, and I'll never forget it, he said, he said, how do you think the Raiders will do with Garoppolo under center? And my direct response was, they'll be fine with Garoppolo under center as long as Josh McDaniels isn't calling the plays. But what do you think's going to happen this year? Josh McDaniels is going to call the plays. They do not have a competent offensive coordinator, and they do not have a competent offensive system, period. You have Josh McDaniel. And on top of that, speaking of the Jets, Nathaniel Hackett, as your offensive coordinator?
Listen, that's his position though. He's not a head coach. He's never been a head coach. He's
Right.
an offensive coordinator. That's what he should have been always. Denver should have never gave him that position.
And he only lasted what? 15 weeks?
Season. Not even a whole season.
Not even a whole season.
So
by week 15, he was gone.
It was Denver's fault for hiring an offensive coordinator to be their head coach.
Yes.
Now they finally got it correct. They went and got Sean Payton, someone who knows how to manage a team.
Mm-hmm.
Manage a team, not just manage offense, not just manage defense, manage the whole entire
team.
And some people are great at just being coordinators, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm. But see, the question is, the thing is, I beg your pardon, is when people think that just because they can call an offensive play, they think they can just run the whole team.
Yeah.
What was the example we just mentioned? Nathaniel Hackett. Hello.
But it's getting that time, Snowman.
Yeah, it is. We're gonna go ahead and get on out of here. But Wise, thank you.
Always a pleasure,
glad you had a great birthday, and thank you for the tools that you have given to me, because I definitely have a couple things to record before I go on this afternoon. But thank you, man. Thank you for your knowledge, and thank you for sitting in for the second hour. Really, really appreciate it.
My pleasure, brother. Always my pleasure to be on the show and just getting to chat and share anything I know, man. Anything I can share and anyone I can help it's what I do, man. It's what I love to do.
We appreciate it. One quick announcement: the Brian Snow Show will move to 4 p.m. Eastern Time beginning Monday on all of our video and audio networks. For Wise El Jefe and our EP Cole Johnson and our super producer Shane Lake, my name is Brian Snow, aka the Snowman. Hope that y'all enjoy it as we enjoy bringing it to you. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move, and always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, they're simply not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. We hope y'all are too. So long, everybody.